Alright, so we'll start chapter 2. So last time, 2 weeks back, because last time was our Dahi Chuda festival. So we completed our chapter 1. We completed summary also. If anyone wants, we'll share the recording for that. And then today we are starting with chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. So chapter 2, before we go, right? So we'll start with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnantimirandhasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादं सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरात्मसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So, chapter 2, right? So, chapter 2 is very special. Anyone knows why? It is? It's a contents of Gita summarized. Correct. Everyone is okay with English, right? We'll go in English. Okay? Its content, it's also called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means analysis. When we analyze some things, how it works, why it is like that. So that is called Sankhya, right? And this chapter is very special for many reasons. One, because Mukund said already, because it's the content of Gita summarized. So when we go through this chapter, we will see that there are a lot of most of the theory of it, not most, but a lot of theories of Gita, Bhagavad Gita will be actually uh, will touch base upon, right, in this particular chapter, like Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? What is Sakam Karma Yoga? What is Niskam Karma Yoga? What is Bhakti? What is Sthir Pragya? All those things we actually touch upon. It won't be very much in detail, but then it touches all the things. So this chapter is that way very special. But even more special is about this chapter. This is the chapter where Bhagwan speaks first time. Right. Till now, what we saw, it started with it was not started with Arjuna. पहला वर्ष क्या है? But who started? What is the first one? Who tells? Dhritarashtra. Right. Then Sanjay, and then Arjuna. So only till now, only three speakers were there: Dhritarashtra, Sanjay, and Arjuna. Right. Now, in this chapter, the first time Bhagwan is going to. Yes, yes, they will come. It's not like now they are gone. Everyone's turn will come. Right. But this is chapter where first time Bhagwan starts speaking. Lord Krishna starts speaking. Right. So we'll see what is a summary of the chapter, breakdown of the chapter. So we can again, like in chapter one, we divided into two parts. First section which was observing the battlefield, seeing who are here in this side of the battle, other side of the battle. Right. And the second part where Arjun starts giving reason. Same way, we are we can divide this chapter two also into two parts. Not naming it, but first section where from verse 1 to verse 10, it's Arjun's indecision and accepting Lord Krishna as his guru. Right. Arjun, he started giving the reason in first chapter. Now he will elaborate, not elaborate, but he again kind of summarizes it. Right. He starts summarizing it and again giving some more reasons why we should तो कुछ इधर बैठिए या माता जी लोग आप लोग इधर कैसे so he starts telling about the reasons, more reasons why we should not, why he should not fight. And then after he gets so much confused that I don't know what to do. And then he accepts Krishna. He surrenders to Krishna, accepts Krishna as his guru. Then from verse 11 to 30, that is Sankhya Yoga, analysis of body and soul. Sankhya analysis. Right, Sankhya means analysis. So Gyan part will come in this chapter. So it also touches on the Gyan, what Gyani seeks for, about the body and the soul, Paramatma, Atma ke bare mein, Paramatma ke bare mein. So all those things would come here. Right. So Krishna tells about body and soul. Then from verse 31 to 37, it tells about Sakam Yoga. We know Sakam Yoga, right? But we'll discuss again in detail. Sakam Yoga means where we try to find the result, where we are attached to the result of the action, what we are doing. We want to get something when we are doing. Like if I am working hard, I want to get promotion, something like that. That is Sakam Yoga. Then from 38 to 53, it's Niskam Yoga, where we are doing our work. Sometimes manager said, right, do your work. That is thing in higher management hand, whether you'll get promotion or not. So we do our work, but we are not attached to the result. That is Niskam Yoga. It's also called Buddhi Yoga. And then at last, it's about Sthit Pragya. We hear, has anyone heard the term Sthit Pragya? Sthit Pragya is a sthiti where we are somehow. Somehow means we are not affected by the dualities of life. Sukh and Dukh, Sardi, Garmi, like these kind of things. We are not actually affected by that. It's whatever is going on, we are neutral in all point of view. Right, that's called Sthit Pragya. Right, so he will describe the Jivan Mukta, the qualities of the liberated soul, how the liberated soul is, how they are not affected by all these dualities of life. Right. So that's a breakdown of chapter, and you saw that a lot of topics are being covered here. Karma, right? Sthir Pragya, Gyan, and a lot other things also. So that's why it's called Contents of Gita Summarized. Very important chapter. So we'll start with the first verse. You can repeat after me. Sanjay Vacha Tam Tatha Kripayavistam Asrupurna Kulekshana Vishidantam Idam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudana Tam Tatha Kripayavistam Asrupurna Kulekshana Vishidantam Idam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudana. It is from the side. Tam Tatha Kripayavistam Asrupurna Kulekshana Vishidantam Idam Vakyam Watch तत्तथा विश्वम अश्रुणोदाकुलेक्षणं विषेदन्तम् इदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदन. The translation by is His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna, spoke the following words. Right, so that's the meaning of it. Now, what happened at the end of chapter 1? Anyone remembers? The last verse, what happened? He did what? Castro? What preparation? कौन सा बोलता है जीमेट की preparation करा दो. All right. And then he was filled with grief. He put down his bows and arrow, Gandhi. Like we discussed why it was a big deal putting down Gandhi. Right. So he was full of grief. He put down his weapons and he was like, "I'm not in mood of fight." He did not say till now. No, he said the verse before, "I will not fight." Right. When he was in that mood, like, okay, uh, I'm not going to fight, and then he put down his arrow. So he was very much grief stricken. Then what happens? Dhritarashtra, when he saw Arjun like that, he started feeling a little happy. Right? Okay, job done. If he is out of fight, the war will not happen. My sons will get the Raj, and everything will be okay. So that was his feeling. He was thinking like, okay, this is perfect. Things are happening as I want. So now our Acharya said what why this Madhusudana word is very important here. Right. Anyone remember the meaning of Madhu except Mukur? Meaning of Madhusudan. The demon Madhu, who the Lord Krishna killed the demon named Madhu. Right. So माता जी अगर आप लोग को नहीं सुन रहे हैं आप लोग यहाँ पे बैठ सकते हैं. Well, there is a lot of space here. Okay. ठीक है. So Krishna killed Krishna killed a demon Madhu. That's why it's called Madhusudana. So Madhusudana word is very important here. Now Sanjay is seeing that Dhritarashtra is being so happy. So he tells Madhusudana, like Krishna kills Madhusudana, who was a demon. So don't keep your hopes high, Dhritarashtra. In a way, indirectly saying, Dhritarashtra Maharaj, don't keep your hopes high. Right. The way Arjuna is going to get this doubt now, or he is getting the doubt, Krishna has killed that also. So don't be so happy that this war will not happen. You are going to get your son will going to get all the Samraj and you'll be happy. This is not going to happen. So in a way, indirectly he says that anyway the war will happen. First Krishna will kill his Madhusudana. He will kill the doubts in Arjun's mind, and he will remove all the misconception which Arjuna has in his mind, right? Right. So in a way, like very cryptically, he said Madhusudan, he spoke the following word, right? So uh, what Prabhupada says in his purport, that material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Right, we discussed that. But a very important point comes here, that particular point highlighted. No one knows where compassion has been applied. So what happens in the last chapter? Like Arjuna was, when Mahabharata, before the Mahabharata started, Arjuna was very much keen to fight. We discussed that he has taken a pran also. He has taken a vow also that anyone who stops me fighting this war, I'm going to kill that person, whoever it is. He has taken that terrible vow, but that strong vow, right? Someone stops him from participating in the war, that person is finished. And from that state, he has come to that state. He's just dropping his Gandhi. I don't want to get into fight. When he goes to the battleground, he sees all his relative, his guru, his acharya, right? And then he sees his pitama, all his relative brothers. We discussed, right, his son, like Duryodhan's son Lakshman, all those people in the battlefield, and he Lakshman, yes, Duryodhan's son ka naam Lakshman tha, maybe something new, but yes, right. So he sees that, and then he starts feeling very much grief stricken. He started feeling the compassion. Right. How can I kill my own relatives? Swajan. We discussed Swajan. Right. How can I kill my own relatives? And what will I gain after killing my own relatives with whom I will enjoy? I'm going to incur sins. All those reasons he gave in chapter 1. But Prabhupada mentions here, no one knows where the compassion should be applied. He started getting the compassion. But was the compassion at the right place? How can we say was the compassion was not at right place? What is the reason? Why? Hmm? It's against dharma. Okay. Yes. Correct. So whenever there are atatai, oppressors, so we discussed six types of oppressors, right? Someone who kidnaps one's wife, someone who take a deadly weapon on someone, right? Someone who poisons or burnt home. Like that, we six types of oppressor we discussed. And our Shastra actually allowed these kind of people can be killed without incurring any kind of sin. So these people like Kauravas, they did all these kind of things. Like all six categories they fall into. They burnt Lakshagri, someone's house. They kidnapped. They tried to kidnap Draupadi. Right. Once Jayadratha kidnapped even Draupadi. Right. And they are going to take the deadly weapon. So all those things. They poisoned the Bhima. Two times they tried. Right. So all those things they were falling into that category. So even if Arjuna is going to kill them, he is not going to incur any sin. It's a sastrocit. It is allowed in our Shastra. What other reason? Any other reason? Why can we say this? We actually just discussed that. Why can we say that this compassion is not applied at right place? It's like कि अब आ गए तब तो करना ही है. Okay, that could be one of the reason, but not really. मतलब आ गए तो करना ही है, जरूरी नहीं है कि जरूरी आप कुएं के पास पहुंच गए तो कूदना ही है. You can still come out. और ट्रेन के सामने पहुंच गया तो you can still come out of stress. Yeah. Correct. He's thinking on material level, right? He's not thinking on the spiritual level. Swajan, we discussed the word Swajan. Swajan क्या होते हैं? Swajan मतलब when we identify people who are our blood relatives, then we call them Swajan. But when you when you see at the soul level, Swajan means actually every jeev is our Swajan, every single jeev. Because every soul is part and parcel of Lord Krishna. So how can someone is not our Swajan? Right. He's thinking on his bodily platform. These are my relatives. मेरे गुरु, मेरे भाई, मेरे बंधु, मेरे बेटे. All these things. He's thinking on his. his family wife. So he's thinking on bodily platform. Now, Srila Prabhupada gives like, so it's called misplaced compassion, where the compassion is not placed at the right, like it's not being done for the right cause, not being done for the right person. It's called misplaced compassion. Hmm? Wrong compassion, right? Doing for the wrong reasons. And in this world, if you say a lot of, most of the time we have this misplaced compassion for the people. We'll discuss why. So Srila Prabhupada gives this very beautiful story. Once upon a time, like there was, okay, a story means once upon a time. I'm habituated by telling a story to Dhavit. It always starts with once upon a time. So once a man was drowning in the river. And when he was drowning in the river, there was no one to save him. No one knew how to swim. One person, he jumped, he knew how to swim and he jumped and he went to save that person. He came back shouting, I saved that person, I saved that person. Right. Then people, oh, where is the person? Then they saw that he saved only the food. He did not really save the person. They said, oh, you just saved the food, not the person. Um, right. That's exactly what we try to do. That's the end of the story. Right. What is this body? This is the food, right? And whenever we try to feel compassion for someone, we try to help someone, we always try to help someone at the bodily level. कोई भूखा है उसको खाना खिला दो. Not wrong doing that, right? But then spiritual compassion is also needed along with that. जब हम when we go on the traffic signal, hmm? when we go on the traffic signal, what we do when someone comes knock at the door? What do we do generally? मतलब पहले तो 1 रुपए देते थे, now it's a 10 rupee bill because we have lost all our coins. QR code also, now people coming with the QR code, right? How a lot of people don't give, who they realize because they don't know where the money is going to be, whether it is used for the wrong purpose or being used for the right purpose. Because most of the time it is actually going for the wrong purpose. And a lot of time they earn even more than what we do. Whether we are in the car, even though we are in the car, they earn more than who are not in the car. Right. No, we are not the car. Right. So we try to help people on the body level without thinking about how we can help them on the soul level, on their spiritual level also. Very important point. That is why it's called misplaced compassion. One more example comes. There is a person, right? It is this is AI generated image. That's why you are seeing all the things. So this patient is allowed only to get the liquid diet only. And then I get compassion. He's saying, I'm very hungry, I'm hungry. Please thoda sa kuch de do. Please mujhe, I need something to eat. Please kuch to de do. And then the nurse came and gives him the solid food. So he's being compassionate towards the patient. He's crying for food. But is that a correct compassion? What will happen? She gives him solid food. But what will happen now? She's giving him solid food. He can get choked. He can get. We don't know what kind of problem will come. He may have gastric issue. He may not even able to digest that food. And with compassion, the nurse or any person is giving that person a solid food. They are not really helping them. They are actually not helping them. They are killing them. Right. They are just harming the person only because of the wrong compassion. Right. Another example comes the one we are discussing. Right. We give the money to beggars. We directly give, we don't think they are garib, we'll just give them money. You don't even know where this money is being used for. I'm not saying don't give them money or don't give them anything. Right. But if they are using that money for wrong reason, for drinking alcohol, for smoking, for buying charas or anything. Huh? Weeds, right. We don't know what is going to be used for this money. And it's not that they are only will be blamed. You, because you gave the money or we gave the money, we are also going to incur the part of the sin, which they are going to do. Very careful what we have to do. So there's nothing wrong giving anything to beggars. But what we should give, that's important. Always keep some prasadam in your car. Keep something which is God related. Give that to beggars. All they want, they ask, when they ask money, they ask, कुछ खाने के लिए नहीं कुछ दे दो. That's what they ask, right? हाँ खाने के लिए नहीं ये लो प्रसादम. A lot of time what happened with me also. There are some beggars when we try to give prasadam. ये नहीं चाहिए आप पैसा दो. Bye bye. हाँ banana exactly. That's what, right? They are not really hungry. They are not at all hungry. It's just a money making machine for them. And that's why I said there are a lot of, like, I don't know whether anyone heard or not. In Mumbai, there are crorepati beggars. We pay this home loan for 20 years just to let go of this. Okay, now EMI is done. There are crorepati beggars. They have 2 to 3 flats in Mumbai. Cities like Mumbai. What we pay for the whole life paying the EMIs for just one flat. Right. So we don't know where your money is being used. Very, so that's called misplaced compassion. What if you want to give, keep some prasadam. Right. Offer it to Lord. When you give the prasadam, what you are giving? You are giving them prasadam. You are giving them Krishna directly. Right. Even if they even if they don't know they are getting prasadam, they will get the Agyan Sukriti. Agyan Sukriti. Like indirectly they are getting mercy of Krishna because anytime we eat prasadam, we get the mercy of Lord. So whoever has in their, what can I say, in their bhagya to get mercy of Lord, they will get that. Whoever does not have, they will simply ये नहीं चाहिए पैसे देना है तो दो नहीं तो already मेरे पास बहुत है. They will be like that, right? So I tell you, with that I remember one example. This December, this January actually, we are doing the book distribution in BHEL, and in BHEL Temple Complex, I think most of us would have gone there at least once or many more times. Who has not gone there? Has anyone not been there? BHEL Temple Complex? नहीं? ठीक है, कभी जाएंगे जरूर. That's a beautiful temple. There is a temple of Venkateswar Swami. There is a शिव जी का टेम्पल है. There is a lot of temple. कृष्णा का टेम्पल बहुत ही सुंदर टेम्पल है. Right? Plan to visit. Let's plan to visit someday. Right? We'll all go together nearby, just 6 kilometers. Right? And they even ask us to have classes there. So let's have one class there itself. Huh? Let's plan after Rath Yatra. Okay, I'm also surprised. All right. So in that temple, like we were doing book distribution, I saw that there's a person, an old man. He was sitting there, and there was a lady also sitting there. Like three people, they sit in the line. Three people here, three people there. They all will be begging there. And this person suddenly got up and he started beating that. No, he did not. Actually, there's another person who came, a young guy, and he started beating that old guy. Me and there's a Lokesh Prabhu, we were there. We went there. We left the book stall. Went there. कि क्या कर रहे हो? Why did क्यों उसको मार रहे हो? Why are you doing that? तो कहा सर आप इसको बताओ किनारे जाओ. मैंने कहा अरे ऐसे कैसे टेम्पल के सामने तुम ये मार पीट करोगे? You think like you will not come. ठीक है, उसने कहा ये मेरे पापा है, मैं इनको मार रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरी मम्मी को परेशान कर रहे हैं. In front of that person, his wife was sitting, and this guy was actually snatching everything what her wife was getting. He was beating her and snatching her. She was also crying. So this guy came, who was a younger guy. He was doing some work here and there. He came and he started beating his father. So he was drunk, completely drunk. Then he went inside the temple. It was, I came to know later that it was their daily routine. Right? Probably wrong. I saw that first time. So whatever. So that guy went inside the temple. And then what this old guy did, he took his gamcha we know, right? That angocha, the small towel kind of thing which you put on. He put one brick inside that, made a weapon kind of thing, and he started beating his wife with that. For that money which was given by someone, her wife is getting beaten. He even hit her on her head, and she like held her head and with loud cries she went inside the temple so that he cannot hit her anymore. We don't know what they are going to do with the money which we are giving to them. It is a misplaced compassion. We feel the compassion at that time, but where it is being used, we don't even know. You want to give them some prasadam. Once there was a beggar, I told him, "Acha, क्यों?" And he was an able guy, like me, even stronger than me, right? I said, कि क्यों घूम रहे हो? चलो, I'll get you some job इस दुकान पे. Job अपने, ठीक है sir, okay bye. They don't want to do the job, even if they are able to do. Misplaced compassion, that is what, right? And very beautiful story comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. We discussed that story. Who's that? Huh? Jad Bharat story we discussed. Bharat Maharaj. Right. All related to that. He had the compassion for the deer. Right. Compassion is good until it does not disturb or it does not interfere with our spiritual practices, our spiritual progress. Till then, it is good. But the moment our compassion start getting or encroaching upon, like I will leave all this thing and I'll just do the compassion because I have a lot of Karuda Bhav, I have a lot of Daya Bhav, so I'll leave my spiritual practice and start doing that. That becomes a problem. Bharat Maharaj stories like that. He left all, he left his home, his wife, all the family, went to Vanprasth ashram, actually sannyas ashram, right? Just to get into bhakti of Bhagwan. And then when he saw the deer who was injured, he felt the compassion for the deer and he started taking care of deer, which is okay. But he got so much attached to the deer that he left all his, you can see in the picture also, he's doing yajna, but his mind is towards the deer. What deer is doing? Has it eaten anything? Is he okay? No one is harming him. All those things. His mind is only in the deer. He forgot about the God, why he came out of his grihastha ashram, and he's only now associated his mind with the deer. That story tells us that particular reason. Where is the misplaced compassion? Right. Compassion should not encroach or it should not interfere with our spiritual progress. It should be done only to that limit. It does not mean compassion should not be done. Right. So, and a lot of time we see that in this world, most of the organizations they teach the compassion on bodily platform only. Right? You can see, you can think of any organization in your mind, and you can actually realize that the compassion which they are doing, the work, the charity which they are doing is actually on the bodily platform. Very few organizations are there which are actually nourishing the soul. Our real compassion, what is the real compassion? What? Don't be overly touched to any person, any being. Okay? But what is the real compassion?
We are sick for another, right? So if we can meet somehow another, we can take the path on that path, right? So we see, like we are to attend.
Like, Anand is separate with compassion, right? Anytime you give compassion, you really with not necessarily giving them Anand. Or you get the Anand. Yes, we get the satisfaction. We get the satisfaction that we did something, which is right. May get the Anand, but it's not necessarily that every time we do the compassion because so that we'll get some Anand. Right? That will become a wrong way, wrong thing to do in the compassion. I am doing the compassion so that I can get the Anand. Again, I am doing for me. It does not really become selfless if you are doing it like that. Compassion has to be selfless. You're not doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for the other person. But not for their body. The real compassion means doing it for their soul. You can help someone, giving them money, giving them food, giving them a lot of things, helping them. We should do that. But if we are not helping them at their soul level, this all goes waste. Again, they are born here. Again, the same thing will come. Life after life after life after life. From millions of years, we are here doing the same thing, suffering the same cycle of birth and death. Doing compassion, getting compassion. This cycle repeats. But do the compassion. Why not do the compassion and along with that give them spiritual knowledge? Help their soul also, not just the body. So that maybe the sukriti they are getting, maybe the knowledge they are getting, maybe the mercy they are getting from the Lord, it may help them to go out of this material world. think of their soul also, not just the body. That is the real compassion. When we do the compassion at the soul level, not just at the body level. Right. And we actually miss that point. And most of the, like 99% of the world miss that point. We do all this charity at the body level and then that's it. Neki kar kuएं में डाल. There's a kahavat, right? There's a kahavat. Okay, in Hindi. Prabhuji, you may not know. Ki we did the charity and then we forget about it. No, don't forget about it. Yes, don't be proud of it. I did the charity, but when I say don't forget about it, help them on a spiritual level also. Right? Don't just say, okay, I gave the money, that's it, my job is done. Help them to understand why they are suffering, why they need this help this time, why and how they can actually don't need the help anymore when they take birth in this life next time. Right. So coming back to the topic, right? See, a lot of organizations do and at the bodily level, and that's where this particular concept came. Has anyone heard Nar Seva hi Narayan Seva? Hai? How many have heard it? Nar Seva hi Narayan Seva? Hai? Right. A lot of organizations they also promote that. That means आप आदमी की सेवा करिए. That's it. You don't need to do anything. That is Narayan Seva. A huge misconception. Huge. Because first of all, why it is a misconception? Because first of all, this particular sentence says that Nar hi Narayan. Hai. Nar cannot be Narayan. Our Dvaitwad, our parampara says that God and living being are not equal. Even though we are part and parcel of God, qualitatively we are similar, qualitatively we are same, but quantitatively we are not. Just as an example, when you take one bottle out of the sea, right? It has all the same salt composition, all the same thing, right? But it's not quantitatively same. In that bottle, you cannot have whale, great whale or shark or anything, right? So even though it is qualitatively same, we are qualitatively similar to God, but we are not quantitatively similar. Strength, like we'll discuss that in second verse, how Bhagwan is different from why Krishna is called Bhagwan, why he is different. Right. We have discussed this before a lot of time. Ishwar or living being, Jeev or Ishwar same nahi hai. They are not the same. They are not the equal. That is the basis of Achint Bheda Bhed, our philosophy, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. Achint Bheda Bhed means in one way, Jeev and Ishwar are same, but in another way, they are not the same. Right? Qualitatively, they are the same, but quantitatively, they are not the same. So there is a Bheda Bhed. There Abhed also, they are same, and Bheda Bhed. There is a difference also. Right? So Nar Seva in Narayan Seva, that's not correct because the Nar Seva, we think that is always done on the bodily platform. We forget this is exactly what the same thing which Bharat Maharaj did. He said instead of Nar, just replace Nar with the deer. Hiran Seva hi Narayan Seva. That's what he did, right? If we do only Hiran Seva, if we do only Nar Seva, that is not Narayan Seva. But if we do Nar Seva with the feeling, with the intention that we are also going to give them spiritual knowledge, we are also doing the Seva for Narayan. Because with the feeling that every single being, every single living entity is also part and parcel of the Lord. And because they are part and parcel of the Lord, I am also helping them to get out of this world. Right? Let me help them that way. And I will not stop my spiritual practices along with that. That is actual Narayan Seva. Narayan Seva has to be done for Narayan, not for Nar, right? Like if you have to feed your son, you cannot feed your wife and think like son will be fed. That's it, right? Because we are family after all. That will not happen. But when you are actually feeding the Narayan, you can actually feed the Nar or any human being. Anyone remembers any stories like that? When you are feeding the Narayan, everyone is automatically fed. Akshay Patra. Right. All the thousands of Rishi who gathered together and along with Durvasa Rishi, they went to take bath and when they came, not when they came, actually when they came, Akshay Patra was cleaned up. Right. And when Akshay Patra, there was a Patra which is given to Draupadi, it can give unlimited amount of food. It can produce a limited amount of food. But when it is cleaned on the day, that's it. Only next day it will restart. So it's a reset. Right. But by the time when they came, it was already cleaned up. And then they said, like, okay, we are going to take bath and we'll come back, we need food. And now Draupadi is like, what can I do? This is cleaned up, and there are thousands of Rishi along with Durvasa Rishi. And Durvasa Rishi, you know, Durvasa. Right. It's very difficult to live with. Durvasa. Right. Difficult to live with. His name itself is Durvasa because of he is a very difficult person to live with, to deal with also. Right. Anytime he goes angry and ye lo srap. Like people, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu keeps giving mercy of Lord and he keeps giving srap. Yeah, sorry, no Vaishnav plan. Right. So Durvasa Rishi, she got very scared, like what if will give him any srap. Right. So she remembers Krishna, surrenders to Krishna. And Krishna, then by his realization, she saw that there are two grains of rice was remained in that pot. And when then Krishna came, he ate two grain of rice, and all the rishis there with Durvasa Rishi, when they came, they were like taking dakar. Dakar ko kya kehte hain? Burping. They're like, I'm filled. What a food. The real example from our Shastra itself. Right. When you actually do the Narayan Seva, Nar is automatically saved. They are all automatically be served. Right. But it does not mean that we stop helping anyone, we stop supporting anyone, or we stop anyone, any compassion. It means that along with the bodily compassion, also think how can we give them spiritual compassion. And a very simple thing, like I can give you this time's example. We discussed before also, and we all know this thing. I'll not take the name, but there are other community who helps people. Right. They give a bag of grain or any other thing. But whenever they give, you remember they don't always give that help. It's always comes with a it always comes with attachment. Attachment मतलब, along with one additional gift. Right. We all know what it is. I don't have to tell a name. Others are clear, we are not. Right. If someone does not understand, we'll discuss that after the class, not in the recording. Right. But others are very clear what they have to give, not just the bodily help. And actually, they are helping the soul. They are also helping the soul, even though they are not giving them Krishna, even though they are not giving them as per our Sanatan Dharma. But they are helping the soul because Prabhupada used to say that even if you are, even if you are like having affection uh, towards Jesus, having affection towards Allah or anyone, right, or any other God, not God, any other prophets, at least you are doing something. You are not, and these are all sent by God Himself. They are not like independent of God. They are all sent by God Himself, right? But to those people who are at that level, so at least they are doing something rather than being atheistic, not doing anything, only doing for the body. So they are also getting Agyat Sukriti in a way. But we are not clear. We only, okay, body help, my job done. That's it. So that is misplaced compassion. One example could be when a terrorist, then a mercy petition happens for terrorists. We hear every other year, right? Some lawyers will come reach to the Rashtrapati and then Rashtrapati, 30 years in the jail, please give him mercy. He has served enough. Even though he killed 2,000 people or hundreds of people, please. We are in this world which is full of compassion. Right. We are in the world which is full of daya and karuna. Please give them compassion. Please give them a daya and pardon them. That is a perfect example of misplaced compassion in this world. Now we'll discuss why it should not be done. Right. The king's duty, administrators' duty is to punish the criminals. If they are not punishing, it is the sin which they are going to get. So real compassion means compassion for the eternal. So we'll discuss that point later. We'll elaborate on that. So what is the real compassion? What is being happening here? They're giving the prasadam, Lord's mercy. Prasadam means Lord's mercy, right? You are feeding hungry. No, no problem with that. There are a lot of organizations who do feed India from Zomato. There are lots of who does that, right? And many of us know would have donated. I have also done long back, but we don't know. There are a lot of venture. We actually give the prasadam, Food for Life program. It's the world's biggest food distribution program. It is from ISKCON. And when I say world, it is not just India. You go to war-torn region, there are stories like how Yugoslavia war, Serbia war, Ukraine war. They were like during the war they were giving the food when the bombs are being thrown. The devotees, without thinking about themselves, right? They are just giving the food to the people who are needing. Food means prasadam. That they'll get Krishna's mercy. There's a book like uh, Indradum Swami Maharaj. He came to our congregation also a couple of times. Right, he's an amazing Srila Prabhupada's disciple, amazing disciple, and he like he's the one who goes around the world and he gives the book distribution. He does the Harinam Sankirtan, does the festival. When we see the photos of foreigners dancing on the Harinam Sankirtan, right? A lot of those festivals are actually started by him. Right. So his team, a lot of people, they went into such places. They gave the food to the needy who are ward in the wall town region. A lot of places. So every day, lakhs of foods, plates, foods packets are given by Food for Life, where they are giving not just the food but the prasadam, and which nourishes not just the body but the soul also. Right. That's a real compassion. Someone wants to help. There is a I can tell the name. I really. There is a very famous organization, Vision India, right? And the first time you do the job, the first thing you'll see in your channel where to donate, where you have to adopt somebody. This is the one, Vision India, right? You see on your social media everywhere. This comes the first thing where you can do. Lot of people don't know most of the money is goes for the conversion, their money. I also started, Meg also started when we started the job. I stopped after 2 3 months. And when I came to know she is also doing, I stopped for her also. Right. We have a lot of our venture. You want to help some poor person, a poor guy a poor kid for their education. There are lots of gurukuls where you can send them. Those are free of cost gurukul. You don't even have to spend money. Those children are a lot of time thrown or just let go of the parents. Okay, you go, you earn somehow. You can help them, put them in Gurukul. If they are capable, they will do. If even if they are not capable, if they are a little elder, they can help them, and with little helping, little serving, also they will get a lot of knowledge and Bhagwan's mercy. That's the real compassion. Third picture. What is happening here? Discussing, giving them knowledge. We give the knowledge. We give a lot of knowledge, right? This seminar, that seminar, this thing, that thing, a lot of things, ye classes, math classes, whatever, summer camp, this camp, hundreds of things, all at the bodily level. Why not give them knowledge? Why not teach them about Lord Krishna? Why not tell them about our dharma, how they can actually nourish their soul, how they can help themselves? That's a real compassion. You want to educate someone, educate about the God. Krishna says that I am the one which should be known by all. Our yesterday's lecture, our Saturday lecture was that only. 9.16. He says that I am the one who should be known by everyone. Why not give them knowledge of Krishna? That's a real compassion. We feel compassionate about farming, right? Organic farming, this and that. There are lots of actually farm societies where they do organic farming and they are associated with the temple. This picture is of Sadasivpet. Sadasivpet is after I think 20 30 kilometer after Patanjali. We went there also once. Right, they do farm community and the people who live there, they're all very poor people who did not have any means to earn. They live there, they serve there, they do the farming, they have the gosala, they do the seva of cow, they get the milk. Lots of avenues. We don't think about it. Helping the farmer. How to help the farmer? Put them on Singhu border, uh, jam their road for next 2 years, and that's it. We are helping the farmer. Or go give them internet connection, pizza. Right. This is exactly what happened, right? In last 2 years. This was what happening. Helping the farmer in the name of all politics. They did not help the farmers, telling them how to do organic farming, how they can get the manure which they are buying 4,000, 5,000 rupees per bora, how they can get the organic manure and which can help. Punjab's condition is so drastic now. They have put so much fertilizer in the land there that in next 5, 10 years it's going to be completely infertile. But they are reaping the benefit as much as they can because short-term goal. Right. I'm just thinking next 5 years में like नेता क्या होते हैं 5 साल ही we are elected for 5 years. Let's earn as much as possible. 5 साल के बाद किसने देखा है? We also live our life. Somebody told me here in the society, sir, one of my friend, क्या करते रहते हो यार तुम ठीक है? किसने देखा है कि तुम अगले जन्म में क्या बनोगे? राइट ये सब करके क्या होगा? अरे मस्त जियो खाओ पियो मजे करो. हाँ नहीं देखा है सही बात है नहीं देखा है इसीलिए तो कर रहे क्योंकि नहीं देखा है और देखना भी नहीं है. Like I don't want to see you again. नहीं तो फिर आपकी तरह अगले साल अगले जन्म में भी कोई पूछेगा अरे किसने देखा है हमेशा यही होता रहेगा जन्म आफ्टर जन्म किसने देखा और देखते ही रहेंगे नहीं देखा है देखते ही रहेंगे दिस साइकिल विल कीप ऑन रिपीटिंग गौ सेवा he is the Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj. He came to our temple last week. Our ISKCON Cyberabad temple, which is being built. Right, everyone would have seen the video. He came to the temple and here's the one very beautiful story. He was so much just a one line, 1 minute glorification for him. Such an amazing person. His mode is like so. All Maharaja have very different mode, right? Some Maharaja is more about devotee care, about love. Some Maharaja about the preaching. Some Maharaja is about the Varnashram system. So his mode is like farm communities, Gau Seva. These two are his favorite things. So Sadasiv Pet is actually is developed under his guidance only. So he came to this temple. He was so happy to listen that there will be Gausala. He was very happy to listen to that when he heard that. And he's such an amazing devotee in Mayapur when there was no temple, a very small temple. Then few people came to rob that temple. Some dakat actually, right? To rob the temple to take the क्या कहते हैं jewelries of Lord, right? Jewelries and money of the Lord, right? And they threw a bomb. What he did, he came inside of the deity and he said, like, whatever you do, you have to kill me if you can get anything. He is having the crutches here. You see them, right? He lost his leg because of it. Such an amazing people, right? So, so inspiring, huh? This was long back in 70s, 60s probably. It was 60s or 70s that time. When Srila Prabhupada was there, right? He lost his leg saving Lord himself. Such an amazing people, right? Then you want to give them, no, but this is also one way of doing them, giving them compassion. Give them knowledge of Krishna. Give them the books. One day they may take up the books. We discussed about the book distribution long back, right? One day they will take up the book and they will start reading. They will understand about it. So that's a real compassion, which is done for the eternal soul. And anytime we do the compassion, we get the satisfaction. Right? We discussed that we get the satisfaction. But this satisfaction, when you do at the bodily level, you actually forget. Right? It is temporary satisfaction. But when you do at the soul level, when you do the spiritual compassion, it lasts longer, way longer than what you can imagine, even life after life. Because Krishna says that whatever devotional service you do, that does not go waste. Your material thing will go. If like we die here, next time again we are born, ABCD we again have to learn. Right. We'll have to get again all the process. We'll have to get again graduate and all those things. But this devotional service never get lost. It always keeps on piling up. Right. So going next. So Arjuna is a Kshatriya here. Right. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, so Srila Prabhupada says in purport, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of ignorant man, right? For which is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, I said. So Kshatriya, we were talking about the point. A duty of a king is to punish the criminals. It is a duty of a king to punish the criminals. Right? If they are not doing, they are actually incurring sin. So Parikshit Maharaj, when he was going, a story comes. Right? I think that slide is best. Right, a story comes. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was going. Uh, yeah, he was just taking a walk in his kingdom, and he saw that there is a man who's killing a cow. Right, he has hurt the cow already, her three legs, and he's going to hurt the cow anymore. He's going to kill the cow. Right, he immediately take out his weapon. I'm going to kill you right now, because killing a cow is a big, big offense, and a king's duty is to punish the criminal immediately. But if we go with the mercy petition, or if we go with the misplaced compassion for such kind of criminals, छोड़ दो एक बार गलती होगी बच्चे की गलती हो जाती है. Has anyone heard this? अगर किसी को याद है तो ठीक. See, anyone who can a little political, but yes, there's a famous Padma Bhushan Padma Bhushan awardee politician who said that after uh, immodest incident, छोड़ दो बच्चे गलती हो जाती है. If a king is not punishing the people who are doing the crime, they are going to incur the sin. Very important. So even at politicians, they should know. They don't know these days because they don't read Shastra. How they become politician? Because their father was politician, because they come from some certain background, right? That's how they become politicians. Or they have done the politics in college. These are the criteria nowadays to become politician. Right? They don't know the Shastra. That's why they don't know these criminals should be punished. And why they should be punished? It's not only that because they keep on doing the same thing. It's also that because if they are punished at that time, they actually, their sin actually gets over. They got the punishment immediately. If you are not punishing them, it will still go on for long. They keep paying for that sin what they have done. So it's a mercy for those criminals if they are getting punished at the time. It's a real mercy for them. Not punishing is misplaced compassion. So when we are showing the compassion, we think that we are showing the compassion, we are doing the daya bhav, but it's not really daya bhav on the soul level. It's actually harming the soul, giving them more unmercy for the soul. Right. So when we start reading, when we know the Shastra, these things we come to know. Very important thing which is missing. So here comes now Arjun is Kshatriya. It's his job to punish the criminals. Who are the criminals? Kauravas here in this context. It's his job to go to the war and punish them, to kill them. Because Krishna is asking them, like you said, it is for being done for the dharma. Yes, it is being done for the dharma. And dharma says that punish the criminals. If you are not doing, if Arjuna is not doing that, he is not following the Kshatriya dharma. So it's like Arjuna being a Kshatriya. Lord Krishna thinking like, how why you are acting like an ignorant man? Right? You should act like a you have you have read all the Shastras, you know all the knowledge. Why you are acting like an ignorant man? Right? Like an ordinary person. You are not that. You are my devotee. And my devotee cannot forget these kind of things that what is their real dharma. So this is the important point. And now Krishna is thinking, he's also thinking that he's my dear friend, he's my devotee. How can he forget? So he will have mercy on him. And his name is Madhusudana. Like just now Sanjay said that Madhusudana, he indirectly just told Dhritarashtra that he is going to remove all the doubt from minds of Arjuna. Right. So don't keep your hopes high that your sons will be saved. So now what Krishna will do? How he can save Arjuna? What is the way he can save Arjuna now? Arjuna has he has put down his weapon. His grief is stricken. What is the way? How can he? How can Krishna show that he is Madhusudana? Kill the demon of Arjuna's down. How? By sorry, reminding of his responsibility. What else? Reminding of his Varnasundava. All things correct. Giving him the knowledge. You can kill the Andhakar. We started our Mangalacharan with Om Agyanti Mirandasya. In this material world, we are. This is represented as this is a dark material world, right? And the light is only the Gyan Rupi Prakash, which is given by the Guru. Right. So Krishna, he is the Guru of, he is going to be Guru of Arjuna. He is going to give him Gyan which will remove this Andhakar. Right. So he is going to give them knowledge. That's next verse. So we'll do. So now Bhagwan verse. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kashmalam Vidam Vishve Samupasthitam Anarya Justam Aswargya Anarya Anarya Just Anarya Justam Aswargam Akriti Karam Arjuna Kut Kutastva Kasmalamidam Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kasmalamidam Vishve Samupasthitam Anarya Justam Aswargam Akirti Karam Arjuna. Anyone from the side? Any problem? You don't have to hesitate. Kutastva Kasmalamidam Vishve Samupasthitam Anarya Justam Aswargam Akirti Karamarjuna. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kutastva Kasmalam Sabe Samupastitam Anari Justam Asvargam Akirti Karamarjuna. So translation by His Divine Grace the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the rules, who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. Right. So we're discussing that Arjuna is thinking that way. Being a Kshatriya, how can you forget all those things? You are my devotee. How can you forget all those things? So, but before we get into the purport of this, or before we get into the meaning of this particular sloka, the first line is Sri Bhagwan Vacha. Right. Sri Bhagwan Vacha. Very important. This is the first time Lord has said something. And he is denoted or he is mentioned as Sri Bhagwan. Why he is mentioned as Sri Bhagwan? That is our second topic today. Is Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead? How you can say that? He possesses all the opulence. Okay. What else? There could be other God also possesses all the opulence, right? Or opulences. Who we cannot measure the opulences. It's unlimited. So how we can say other God don't possess all the opulences? So what is the proof Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So before we get into that, let's understand the meaning of word Bhagwan. Right? Bhag plus Wan. Like we have the word Dhanvan. Dhanvan means someone who has dhan. Right? And Buddhiman. Buddhiman means intelligence. Someone who has intelligence. Right? Kirtiman. Someone who has a lot of faith. So Van means someone who possess. What he possess? Bhagwan means someone who possess. What? Bhag. Right. What is Bhag? So Parasar Muni, who is the father of Srila Ved Vyas, right? His father of Ved Vyas. He defined in Vishnu Puran, in Vishnu Puran, I guess. Vishnu Puran. Right. He defined in Vishnu Puran the meaning of Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the one who possesses six bhaga. Bhag means opulences in unlimited quantity. Right. What are these six bhaga? Fame, fame, strength, wealth, renunciation, knowledge, and beauty. These six opulences, these six qualities, he has in unlimited quantity. We discussed that in detail. I'll just go very quickly to that. Like fame. Bhagwan appeared 5,000 years ago here, right? But his fame is never getting decreased, but it's even increasing more and more and more. You can see in the world, like previously, like maybe 100 years back, it was only India who people knew about Lord Krishna. Now the whole world knows. A lot of times there are stories like people who go with the tilak right on the airport, and even the airport people who are serving the Hare Krishnas, right? They ask. A lot of them that hate the people. Oh, you're Hare Krishna, okay, fine. तुम तो अच्छे ही होगे. There are a lot of times they get hurt in that way. I have read a story where they have forgotten something. Passport was not, visa was not, they are like passed on, right? Just because of that, and he's getting more popular and popular. It's fame, his strength. A 7-year-old boy on his small finger of the left hand, not even right, this left hand, sorry, right, left hand. 7 days, 7 nights, he was carrying the Govardhan Parvat. Try taking one book in on one hand. I'm not talking about finger, one hand, and just stand for 1 hour and think how that feels. Forget 1 hour, 10 minutes. You'll बहुत हो गया. अगले 5 दिन ऑफिस का काम नहीं होगा. Right. 7 days, 7 nights. Strength, unlimited strength. All the demons, strongest of all the demons, he killed just like that. Right. As a boy, even he was 3 months old, he killed Putra. So unlimited strength. Then beauty. It is said that when Krishna used to walk on the streets of Dwarka or even Mathura, all the ladies, all the gents of their houses, they used to come out and to see Krishna, Krishna. Right. He was so beautiful. He is so beautiful. He is same way in Vaikuntha also in his Haridol. Then renunciation. He took the role of a chariot driver who in the war field getting hit by leg of the person who is sitting behind him. Being a Bhagwan, he accepted a position ki you hit me by leg, I'm fine because you are my devotee, you do whatever you want. He is a Bhakta Vatsal. How can we be one more renunciate than that? Some people can see as something is smaller. अरे आप तो थोड़ा ऐसा लग रहा है कि आप थोड़े से greedy हो, ज्यादा पैसे के पीछे भागे. And we feel 10 days like अरे कैसे बोल दिया मुझे. We start feeling bad for next minute days, right? We take we take we find offenses in every small thing, and he renunciate everything. He's like, I have everything, I leave everything, I'll become chariot driver. You hit me by your leg, right? I don't mind because you are my devotee, and you want me to do this, I will do that. Right? He's such Bhaktavatsal. Then, but the next knowledge, everything came from Lord, right? When from when from Lord Brahma came, right? When from Lord Krishna, Lord Brahma came, he told the Chatusloki Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam was initially, which were told to Brahma, had only 4 slokas. Now we have 18,000, right? Because we are not at, obviously, we cannot even think of being at the Brahma's level. He can understand the whole knowledge in 4 sloka. We cannot understand in 1 lakh verses, which is available for us, right? In our Sanatana Dharma. And leave that part, even 18,000 verses which is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, or leave that, even that 700 verses in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We cannot understand the knowledge with that also. Right. So he is the source of all the knowledge. He is the one who gave the knowledge to everyone. Right. And last one, क्या बच गया? Wealth. What to say about the wealth? Yes. So, like I told, all the 16,108 queens had a big palaces for themselves filled with all kind of celestial jewels, not the jewels we see in this world. Celestial jewel which is out of the world jewels. So wealth to कहना है क्या? He is a Lakshmipati. Forget about wealth. Right. He is the husband of goddess of fortune. What to say about his wealth? So that is Bhagwan. No one else can claim that they have all these opulences in unlimited quantity. No one else. Right. So that is the meaning of Bhagwan. And that's what he's been referred. And now how we can say that he's Bhagwan? प्रभु जी अंदर एक चार्जर होगा, एक बैग होगा ऑफिस का डेल वाला, उसमें रखो चार्जर. ठीक. Now, okay, you're saying that one Shastra came, but how can you say he is a Bhagwan? There are so many Bhagwans, right? Isn't it? There are so many Bhagwan. That's how it's been propagated. Forget about so many Bhagwan. At least Shastra says, right? Shastra, forget about Shastra. Even we make Bhagwan to anyone who shows that I can fly a little higher from the ground. Bhagavan, right? Or someone says that I can walk on the, I can walk on like someone. When you go to Kumbh, you'll see a lot of people who are Siddh Purus, right? I can walk on the fire without hurting myself. Bhagavan, right? Or someone who is jumping, not jumping, who is just hanging from a tree from last 10 years. Bhagwan, puja karne lege, sab kar lege. We can make anyone Bhagwan, right? Any Tom, Dick and Harry, we can make Bhagwan. Someone who is having a little power, everyone becomes Bhagwan. So, so we can make even every people Bhagwan. So Devta, Devi Devta, to it's anyway propagated. Everyone is Bhagwan, but that's not correct. Not everyone is Bhagwan. It's a very reserved for some people. I will not say only for Krishna, but of all Vishnu Tattva, right? Even Shivji can also be referred as Bhagwan, but not every Devi Devta is Bhagwan. Right, those eternal beings who are ajanma, who are never born, they can be referred as. But why Krishna is called supreme personality of Godhead? But like these all these all Vishnu Tattva is Bhagwan. But then there is a one who is the originator of all that. How we can say that? Let's go ahead and see what our Shastra says. Okay, so our Shastra says that Bhagwan also means absolute truth. A truth, absolute truth has to be just one, right? It cannot be many. How can a truth be many? There's a simple logic. How can be there can be how can there be many originator of same thing? If the material world is created, if the spiritual world is created, how can there be many people doing the same thing? It can be one. It has to be one, right? Like if take any example of any religion which is started, not our Sanatana Dharma, it was never started. Any religion, it was started by one person. One cannot say 10% combinedly they came together at the same time, they started the religion at the same time, they all were equal. Never happens. In the real life also does not happen. But for Bhagwan, we have made the concept that everyone is equal, all are God. Right. And that's where this problem actually comes, like because all are equal, so no one is equal. Everyone is Bhagwan, so no one is Bhagwan. There is a smart philosophy which tells that Jiva and Ishwar is equal. I am also God, you are also God, Mataji is also God, Prabhuji is also God, everyone is God. Are we God? We cannot, God, Ishwar means controller. We cannot even control, right, our own urges, our own senses. We cannot even control the people around us. We all have kid and we see that, or family, mother, father, thing, niece. Try controlling them for 1 hour and see. And then we think we are Ishwar, controller, the supreme controller. Right? So not everyone can be Bhagwan. So Srimad Bhagavatam says that the absolute truth is realized in three phases. So we'll go to what is absolute truth, right? So here in this purport it is said that absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman, impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized, Brahman which is impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma which is localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of living entity, and Bhagwan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So three ways you can actually understand Bhagwan. Some people think that after death will become merged with the Brahmjyoti and that's it. Our existence gets over. That was actually, that philosophy came to negate the philosophy of Bauddha Sampradaya in 700, 600, 700, 800 century, right? That time it was so much propagated that after death there is nothing. We just get merged into this tattva, Panchbhut. Right? We get merged into tattva and that's it. Our existence finished. Which is also done. This is also done by Lord himself, Lord Buddha. He came because the people were doing a lot of sacrifices in the name of Veda. So he said, Vedo ko chhod do. I don't believe in Veda. So that people come out of that particular Veda, stop doing these malpractices, and then they start following something which is not really, not exactly our dharma says, but at least a little more spiritual out of this mis mispractice or the practices which are not good, right? So he propagated. Now it was done. Bauddha dharma was also propagated. Like it was finished. Then Shankaracharya came. This practice of sacrifice a little bit is stopped. Still it is going on, but not as much. Right. Then Shankaracharya came, Bauddha Dharma came, then Shankaracharya came. He gave the philosophy because if you ask someone, like if you ask someone who's same way like I have my temple, all 10 Bhagwans are there, right? Everyone is equal. And if I'll go and tell that person, okay, only Krishna is the God, from tomorrow I cannot see anyone else from the Krishna, apart from Krishna, in your temple at the same level, right? What he will do? Will he start following? No, right? He will first, अरे भाग जाओ आप कल से यहाँ दिखना मत. Forget it, I don't know you. He will say that. So what Shankaracharya did, this Bauddha philosophy was so much integrated into the society that time that he gave a philosophy which is a little bit like Bauddha. It's also called a not neo Buddhism. That's a separate term itself, right? A degraded term for today. Right? It is a similarly meaning philosophy like a Bauddha, but along with the flavor of God. He introduced the flavor of soul and God there, right? That yes, you are right. You will get villain, right? Your existence will get over after death. But how it will get over? Because your soul gets merged with the Brahman. That's how your existence gets over. And people understood, okay, now this is the elaboration of my previous understanding. They understood, this is fine. And that is philosophy started. But that was a stopgap solution. Then Ramanujacharya came, right? A lot of Acharya, Vallabhacharya, Nimbarka Swami, right? All these Madhvacharya, these all came and then they give the real philosophy, which is Dvaitwad, which says that in Smarth philosophy, Adi Shankaracharya gave that Ishwar and Jeev are equal. They are same, not equal. They are same. And in the end, they merge. We have forgotten that we are Ishwar because of the influence of Maya. Once we'll remember, we'll become Ishwar. Never happens, right? Will not become Ishwar anytime because Ishwar is Ishwar, Jeev is Jeev. When all our Acharya gave Dvaitwad, Bhakti Acharya, then they gave the philosophy. No, we are not equal to Ishvara. Ishvara is separate, Jiva are separate. They are two different entities. There are qualitative, quantitative differences. So different people give different philosophy, but the core philosophy are they two are different beings. So this impersonal, some people realize God as an impersonal Brahman, that Brahmjyoti will get villain into that. Some people realize that they do the dhyan in the form of Paramatma, right? So going a little further, and then some people they realize the Bhagwan. So Srila Prabhupada gave the analogy with this particular example. Like you see the sunshine in the world. See outside, you can see the sunshine. Doesn't mean that you know the sun, but you know the qualities of sun. What sun does? Sun illuminates everything. He removes the andhakar. You know the qualities of the sun, but you cannot claim that just because you know the sunshine that I know the sun. Can you? No, right? These are the people who realize that God is all pervading. He is upasthit, or he is available, or he's inside every atom. They understand that, right? But what they don't understand, they don't get the real quality of the God because they are still seeing on the sunshine level. Then the second type of people who see the sun surface, they reach the little closer to the sun and they see the surface. Okay, now this is sun. Then what they realize, okay, there is a sun, it's like a planet, it's a rounded thing, and something happens on the surface of it. They realize the localized aspect of the sun. There's a local sun, and they are compared with the some people who realize the Paramatma aspect of the Bhagwan. Like Paramatma is living in our heart. Then there are some people who realize, no, these are correct. Because the sunlight is nothing but effulgence, the Jyoti of Brahman from God Himself. It is his energy only. The Paramatma is nothing but an expansion of Lord Himself. But then there is a Lord who is there in His personal form, living in His dham, called Hari Dham, called Vaikuntha, right? Golok Vrindavan, where He is living and doing all His Leela eternally. That are the people who realize the Bhagwan, right? The ultimate realization of personal feature. God is a person. If you are a person, if everyone we know is a person, then how can God will not have any form? It's a very simple logic, right? Everyone has a form. Whatever we see has a form or some qualities. How can God be nirguna nirakar? All our shastra says that he has akar. He has a form. He has the qualities. So in this purport, this is what mentioned that absolute truth can be expressed in these three ways: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So how can we understand that this absolute truth? Like we can say that, okay, you are saying that there are three aspects. That is fine, but then there are Vishnu is there. There is a Sadasiv. There is a Mahavishnu. There are a lot of other Bhagwan. Then how can we understand that are they all same? that can that question can come, right? So Sri Brahma Samhita, there Sri Brahmaji actually tells about this, right? Just like the light of one candle being communicated to the other candles, although it burns separately in them, it is the same in the quality. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who exhibits himself equally in some mobile manner in his various manifestations. Like in Diwali, when we have to light like 50 diyas, what we do, we light one candle, and with one candle we light all the diyas, right? Or all other candles. When all the candles are burnt, can you differentiate between them? But first there was one candle, right? That is the original, that is the supreme personality of God, that is Krishna. The one candle which was there at the start, before all candles were lit, that is the Krishna, the first candle. That's how Sri Brahma Samhita says. Krishna is the original. That's why he's called Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are so many personalities of Godhead. All the Vishnu Tattva are personalities of Godhead. Sadasiv, he is also eternal. He is also one expansion of Lord Krishna himself. Right. Even Sadasiv, what we understand from childhood, we Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. That's all we understand, right? Do you know, like there are so many Brahmas, so anyway we know. Like there are, every universe has a Brahman. But do we know there are many Vishnus also? There is not one person called Vishnu. There is a Mahavishnu, which is nothing but Karuno Dakshai Vishnu, who is who is sleeping in the Karuno ocean. There is a Kshirodakshai Vishnu. He is sleeping inside every Brahmand. The Brahmand is filled of Kshirodak, that is Kshir Sagar. Brahmand, every Brahmand is filled of Chir Sagar and he's sleeping in there. Chiru Dakshay Vishnu. Right? He's sleeping there and then there is a Garbha Dakshay Vishnu who is in our heart like an expansion in every atom, the Paramatma. Even Vishnu is of there, and these are three types of Vishnu. There are many Vishnu, all the Sankarsan, Sudarshan, and all those personalities of Godhead who are living in the Haridham. They are all the Vishnu Tattva. Sadasiv, they are all Ajanma. Just like Vishnu has many forms, similarly, even Rudra has expansion. The way Vishnu gets expanded into multiple form to do the particular activity, Krishna expands himself into that to do the particular activity. Rudra, that is Sadasiv, also expands himself to do the lot of activity. People don't know. We think that Rudra is equal to Sadasiv, equal to Mahakal, equal to this, equal to that. We think all are same. That's how we think, right? One Shiv is there and everyone is same. There are hundreds of Shiv. Even even when we read about 33, it's a misconception that there are only 33 types of God. No, they are not. There are actually 33 crore. Right. That's a misconception. When you see that 33 types of Devi Devata, the first misconception, where are all the Devis? There is no Devis in that. So that is not 33. That 33 is for one very specific context. Right. In that 33 types of Devi Devata, where it is mentioned, even there it is said 11 Rudra. Right. 11 types of Rudra only in that verse it is mentioned. Sadasiv is eternal, but he takes born as a Rudra from Brahma's nose when he comes into the material world, when he comes to Brahman. So, just like Vishnu expands himself into different expansion, different form, Sadasiv also expands to do the very specific activity. Once we will discuss very much in detail what is Vishnu Tattva, what is Shiv Tattva, but just understand that Vishnu Tattva will never come into contact of the material object. प्रकृति के स्पर्श में, प्रकृति के एसोसिएशन में विष्णु तत्व will never come. When they have to do anything which are related to Prakriti, to the Maya, they take the form of Sadasiv or the Shiv Tattva to do that activity. Because who is Prakriti? Maya Devi. Who is Maya Devi? Durga Devi. Durga Devi is Maya Devi. Who can touch Durga Devi? Not Vishnu. That's why he takes the expansion of Shiv, right? Sadasiv and Shiv form. And even Maya Devi also, she also expands along with the Shiv. To do all the material activity, he takes the expansion of Sadasiv and the Rudra avatar to do all this activity. Right? We don't know because no one knows. People don't know. Our family did our grandfather, our father did not. So from starting, Brahma equal to Vishnu equal to Mahesh. Tridev. There was a movie also Tridev. Right? Right. So we all know this. But there is so much in our Shastra we don't know about. Once we start reading, once we go to the association of the people who know, that Guru Sishya Parampara ke through only will come to know all those things. This is the Guru Gyan, not people know about. So this is the explanation of why we see so many different expansion of God. Right? Why there are so many devatas. Right? But not everyone is Supreme Personality of God. Not everyone is Bhagwan. This is something which we need to remember. So this particular verse purport explains the same thing, sunshine. So the Gyan Yogi are the people who actually try to find the Brahman, the Brahmjyoti. They are compared to the Gyan Yogis, someone who gain the knowledge so that they can realize that. Then there are Dhyan Yogi who do the meditation on the Paramatma. They are who know this like the person who knows the sun planet. So they are compared with the Dhyan Yogi. Then there are Bhakt, right, the devotees who know the Bhagwan aspect of Supreme Personality of God. So this is what mentioned in this particular verse. Now, what is the problem? What is the problem? Okay, if everything is God, what is the problem if I'm Dhyan Yogi or Gyan Yogi or Bhakt? What's the problem? You think of any? Is it all okay? So think of a situation if someone is a Brahmjyoti seeker, right, or Gyan Yogi, think of a situation that you have been put in a room a very a room where you don't see anything. There's just four walls, chat or jameen, everything of white color. You are just living there for eternity. Try to be in such room where you don't have to. You'll not feel any hunger. You'll not feel anything. But just try to live in such room for. Think of you are living in the room for eternity. Think of you are living in the room for one day. How your life would be. Um, you can think of how boring that life would be. That's the problem with Brahmjyoti seekers. They don't realize that the real the real anand which they get, you don't get anand in that room, right? What kind of anand is seeing all the time? White wall, white wall. Right. What kind of anand would you get? Your soul intrinsically it seeks such it anand. It is eternal. It seeks the bliss. It seeks the anand eternally. But you are not getting the anand. Your life is so boring. That's the problem with the Brahmajyoti seeker. And with that, they actually eventually they fall down. Bhagwan says in Bhagavad Gita, those people actually fall down later. That's the first one. Second one, who aspects in the Paramatma. It's good. There's no problem with that. But those Dhyan Yogi, a lot of time, most of the time they get. We discussed about the Kumbh, right? Those are the people who get actually the Siddha Yoga. They gain the powers. And when they gain the powers, the pride comes and they think, this is it, this is all needed. And they started showcasing in the world, and people start worshipping them, and they're like, okay, I'm now God or God's associate, and this is it. They fall down from that platform because of they don't understand what is that. But when you are at the level of devotional service, when you are really as a bhakt, right, you understand that your only job, the only thing you are here is only for the devotional service of the Lord, to do the service of the Lord, nothing else. You don't forget, whatever condition, whatever situation you are in, whatever place you are in, whatever people you are with, you only have to serve the Lord. Right? And you get the anand. We get the anand when we serve. A mother get the anand, a parent get the anand when they serve the child, right? When you give your child something he wanted, what do you feel? Or he wants something like you promised him, okay, I will give you a cycle if you will get 90% of the mark. And then you give him a cycle. What do you feel? You feel the anand, right? When you give when your child is hungry, you give him food, he's like, ah, mummy, swadist khana, I'm so happy. You feel the anand. That is a selfless service. Right. So anand only and only it can come from when you do the selfless service, when you do the service for someone and for the Lord. And eternal anand and only can come when you do the service for eternal being, which is the Lord. Because all other anand are temporary. अभी खाना खिलाया, अभी हमें खुशी मिल गई, फिर 2 घंटे बाद भूखा होगा फिर खिलाओ, ठीक। और अभी खाना नहीं है तो और थोड़ा दुख आनंद तो गया ना वो, अरे यार अभी तो खाया था, ठीक, अगेन फिर स्टार्ट है, राइट। So that anand is temporary. Only eternal anand is for the Lord. So is Brahma Jyoti a real Bhagwan? Right. So what our Shastra says then. So Brahma Samhita says, I'll just read the translation of it. Right. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose effulgence is the source of the non-differentiated Brahman mentioned in the Upanishads. Being differentiated from the infinity of the glories of the mundane universe, appears as an invisible, infinite, limitless truth. Right. That's Brahma Samhita says about the Brahma Jyoti. And next, Isopnishad said that, O my Lord, sustainer of all that lies, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. Isopnishad. The first Upanishad one should read is actually Isopnishad. It's a small one, just few verses. It says very clearly that light which you are getting in front of you, like when we see the sun, we actually don't see the sun, right? All we see the light and then we are moving. But we cannot claim that we have seen the sun. So when these people see the God, they think that this light is the God because they don't see inside. They are not capable to see inside. So Isopnisa says that remove that light front of from your body so that I can see your real self. Then other Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, what does God say then? Lord Krishna, what does he say? Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed the personality. A lot of people say that the God is Nirakar. He has just taken a form so that people can worship. Who has heard this line? I have heard. A lot of people say that because God is Nirakar, but you cannot worship Nirakar God. That's why he has taken a form. Right. This is what Lord says that. Only fools think that he is impersonal. We have to decide are we fool or not. Right. Due to their small knowledge, they do not understand. They do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. There is a supreme personality of Godhead. Right. There is a Purush form. Then in Bhagavad Gita 14.27, he says that, and I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman. If someone is the basis of, if someone is the source of impersonal thing, there has to be something, right? Then only impersonal by name itself can come from personal. जैसे लोग कहते हैं ना हर नास्तिक we know that, right? Nastic means na asti, who do not believe in the God, right? Every nastic actually has an astic. If you are nastic, how can you say you are nastic when you don't believe in God? Your word says that you are nastic. Well, you don't believe in God when you say at the time you don't believe in God, you are saying God is there. Right? You cannot be Nastic. You can never be Nastic. You can act like one, but you cannot be Nastic. Right? So, similar way, same thing is here. I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman. There is a person who is the source of the impersonal Brahman. God says that directly. Right? And which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and the constitutional position of the ultimate happiness. He is our ultimate goal. Right? We'll discuss all these things. Now, is Paramatma real Brahman? So, what Lord says in 18.61, the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of all living entities who are seated on all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energy. Here is it describing what is the Paramatma. Has anyone seen Mr. Men in Black movie? याद है किसी को? There was one alien. जब उसका दिमाग खोलते तो उसमें से एक छोटा सा एलियन निकलता है. There was a machine kind of thing. People used to think that that's a person, right? फिर जब वो मरता है तो उसका ऐसे खुलता है brain slowly और उसमें से एक और छोटा सा एलियन निकलता है. So our body is like that. Paramatma is seated in our body along with the Atma, and he is driving all the things. Right? He explains like that. Then 10.42 he says, but what is the need there? What need is there, Arjuna? For all the detailed knowledge, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. He says that I am the one who actually expanded myself into each atom, into everyone's heart. When someone says that I am the one, there has to be I am, right? There is someone who did it, who expanded himself. This verse explains that Paramatma is not the real Bhagwan. Paramatma is Bhagwan, but he is not the supreme personality of Godhead. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Krishna should be known as the soul of all souls. He is soul of all individual souls and the soul of the localized Paramatma as well. Very important. Directly it is being said that. He is the soul of the localized Paramatma. Even Paramatma has a master. Even Paramatma has a soul, origin or source. He is Krishna. And even more beautiful line next. At Vrindavana, he is acting just like a human being to attract people and to show he is not formless. That was the real purpose why he came in the Krishna form. And there are many purposes. Vinasaya Chatusritam Paritranam Sadhana. This was the purpose, so that people can see, Array, this is what we are going to get if we remember Lord Krishna. Right. Now, and then how can we say what is the proof that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead? Right. This particular verse is proof in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not a small scripture, right? You are ISKCON, you are Gaudiya, you are not, you are from any religion, you are Smarta, believing in Adi Shankaracharya, believing in any kind of sampradaya, still at your home, what is being read? एक सप्ताह तक क्या होता है? It is Srimad Bhagavatam. We don't recite any Puran at our home, any other Puran generally. What you see, Srimad Bhagavatam ka part ho raha hai. It's not a small thing. Srimad Bhagavatam is automatically considered the Sarvach of all. It is the Sarvashrestha of all. And what does Srimad Bhagavatam says that? Ete is no sorry, this one is from Brahma Samhita. Srimad Bhagavatam says that Ete chams kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swam. All the expenses of all the personalities what we see in this world are either my expansion or expansion of my expansion. Charms, Kala or Pums. Okay. They are either my expansion or expansion of expansion. These are all originated from me. This is what it is. But Krishna's to Bhagwan Swayam. But Krishna is the Bhagwan Swayam. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam says directly. Right. Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karan Karanam. But Krishna is the one who is the Sarva Karan Karanam. For cause of all causes is Krishna. And he is the source of everything from Anantkal. That's what Brahma says directly. Right. So these are all the proof. Even Arjuna says in this particular verse, Bhagavad Gita from 12 to 13, he says that 10.12. You are Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, the original person, the unborn, the greatest. Is glorifying the Lord. All the sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you. It's not saying it's not my opinion. It is the opinion of all the sages. They all know you are the one who is the original personality of the Godhead. Right. And now you yourself are declaring this to me. This is what Arjuna also says that. Let's go to other proofs also that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. People say, अरे ISKCON वाले तो केवल भगवद गीता श्रीमद् भागवतम हो गया. They will only give the proof from that. Let's go to other scripture. Narayana Upanishad. What does it say? Brahmanyo Devaki Putra. When we say Brahmanyo, Brahman. Brahman means actually Brahman can mean a lot of things. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, some people take the meaning that मैं ही Brahman. But it does not say Aham Param Brahmasmi. It is said Aham Brahmasmi. Because Brahman can mean the soul. Because we are also have the similar quality as Bhagwan, right? Not quantity, quality. Right? We are also, our soul is also Sat Chit Anand. Quality is the same. So we are also like a Brahman, but it's small. Then Brahman also means the Paramatma. And Brahman also means the same three things we say. The Brahman also means the Param Brahm, the Bhagwan. Right? So here it said Brahmanyo Devaki Putra. Means the original here it is denoting the Bhagwan. Bhagwan is Devaki Putra. Kaun the Devaki Putra? Krishna. Narayana Upanishad says that. Then Atharva Ved. Let's go to Vedas. People say that these are all Upanishad. I don't believe in Upanishad. I don't believe in Puran. These are all Smritis written later and all. Tell me, show me in Veda where it is written. There it is written. Yo Brahmanam Vidadati. Purvam yo vai Vedams cha Gabhyati Sma Krishna. Means it was Krishna who is in the beginning instructed Brahma in the Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. Atharved directly says that. Even Vedas says that. Then Vishnu Puran. Vishnu Puran, generally we say it should be glorification of Vishnu. Right. What does it say? The supreme absolute truth is a person. It directly categorically it just throws away this impersonal Brahman concept itself. He directly says the supreme absolute truth is a person. His name is Krishna. And he sometimes descend on earth. Then Bhagavad Gita, last but not least, Bhagwan himself says that no other religion can claim that their prophet, their arath, they came and say that I am God. But here in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan directly says that Aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarvam pravartate. I am the source of all spiritual material world. Everything emanates from me. I am the source of everything. Everything came out of me only. All the material world, spiritual world, everything. This is what Lord says. Right. So we already discussed that Ete Chamskala Muksa, that all the list of incarnation, all the Vishnu Tattva, all the incarnation here here with are either plenary expansion or path of the plenary expansion of the Supreme Godhead. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are all my expansion or expansion of expansion. But Krishna is the Supreme. Right. So that's how Shastra proves that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right. Now, in this purport, what happened? In this sloka. Now back to sloka. Any doubt till now? Any questions? Today only I'm speaking. Huh? Prakriti.
Krishna was born here. So maybe in contact with Prakriti.
You see, the contact with Prakriti does not mean you don't touch Prakriti. You are not situated in the Prakriti. When he is born in the material world, first of all, first let's understand when God comes, they don't come in actually human form. It's not material form which they come. They come in the spiritual body. That spiritual body uh, is not affected by this material nature. Right. When we say not in contact or associated with, it directly means that they are in contact with that in the material nature, the gunas three. We'll discuss the gunas also short today. Right. And they are affected by that, or at least they are in contact by that. Right. It directly means that when Krishna came here, he came in his spiritual form. He was never affected by these gunas. Right. It means that as simple. Any other question?
We didn't see right how the Krishna and the Vishnu and the Prakriti that it can say.
We'll discuss that because it's a very detailed topic. We can sit off for 4 hours and discuss on that, but we don't have 4 hours. Right. So someday we'll discuss that. Like what is Vishnu Tattva, what is Shiv Tattva, how it actually works. Right. Why there is so much confusion? There is so much confusion. That's why we are like, everyone is God, all are God, no one is God. Right. Our philosophy has become like that. So we'll discuss someday about that. Now, in this purport, he says that in this verse, he says that Anyarijistam Aswargam Akirti Karam Arjuna. Means he's saying that you are my devotee. From where all these impurities, from where are you thinking all these nonsense thing? Right, that you don't have to do this, all the which are not related to dharma. You are thinking they are my swajan and all those parts. So, so in the presence of Krishna, uh, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsman is certainly unbecoming. And Krishna expresses surprise with the word kuta. Here, here he tells the kuta. Actually wanted to show. Kutastva. Kuta. Kuta means from where? From where are you getting this kind of misconception? Right? You are not supposed to, you are not actually, oh, this is the picture I was talking about. We'll discuss that. Right, you are not supposed to get this kind of conception. So where from you are getting that? So he used the word Aryan there. What is Aryan? Has anyone heard the word Aryan? Not the name which we see in the school. Aryan has a meaning. There is a very popular theory, Aryan, starting with Aryan. It's a debunked now. It's in the photo also. Debunked means it has been proved wrong, incorrect. Aryan invasion theory, anyone remembers? That people in India came from Africa, they were from coming from the Europe and then they came to India. The North Indian. This is a theory which is actually created to divide north side of people of India towards south side of people of India. right, by Britishers, Aryan invasion theory. It says that this is a chart where you can see from Africa the migration, human migration happened to the Europe. From Europe they came to India. Right. So they say that the the true gene or the true gene of Aryans, that is well the Bhadra log जिसको हम बोलते हैं, think the good people, the true genes are coming from the Europe. There was one person, very famous slash infamous person, who held this ideology very firmly. Anyone knows? Aryan world created a lot of havoc in the world. नहीं याद है? The whole philosophy, the whole Hitler, Hitler, right? He used to believe we are the superior most race because we are the Aryans. It is a part of that Aryan migration theory because he thought that Aryan migration theory, we are Aryans because Indians came from there, from Europe, and we are the true blood. And you know what it caused. Because of that superiority complex, he killed millions of crores of like Jews, right? Thinking that they are inferiors. They are degrading the society with their inferior blood. So Aryan, what actually Aryan means? Aryan means it does not mean the race. It does not have to do anything with the race or um, culture or anything. Aryan means the civilized class of people, not just materially, but spiritually. The spiritual civilized class of people. The people who are civilized and they know the knowledge of God. They are the true Aryans. So Aryans are not someone who came from outside. We were always here, and that's why this theory is now debunked. There are a lot of articles, or not articles. There are a lot of researchers which came on and said this is bogus theory. Aryan invasion theory is now thrown away. There are genetic proofs of that, right? So, and when they are when they are Aryans, they know all this knowledge. That means they know what is the Varnasam Dharma. They follow the Varnasam Dharma. And being a part of Varnasam Dharma, you should know what is your duty as a Kshatriya. That's what. That's why Krishna says here, Puta, from where you are a Kshatriya? You are an Aryan. From where are you getting these kind of ideas? This is very stupid to say it. From Krishna's thinking, right? He's thinking like that. So, although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duty by declining to fight. The act of cowardice is described as a befitting of non-Aryans. If you are Aryan, you have to follow Varnasam Dharma, and if you are not following, you are non-Aryan. Such deviation from duty does not help one in progress of his spiritual life, nor does it even give the opportunity to become famous in the world. Lord Krishna did not approve of so-called compassion of Arjun for his kinsman. So if a Kshatriya become non-violent, right, he start showing the compassion towards wrong type of people, right? That means he is deviating from his Varnasam Dharma, his duties, right? And more than that, he is deviating from the words of God who asked him to fight, which is the biggest sin of all, right? So we'll see in the next verse. This was the story I was talking about. Uh, we'll like king actually is addressed King Parikshit's story where he is trying to, so this person who was like folding his hand asking for forgiveness, he is nothing but a person who was trying to kill a cow. So you can see cow is hurt and he is going to kill. So Parikshit Maharaj comes, takes out his sword and is like, how dare you to come and kill cow in my kingdom. So Aryans, okay, with Aryans actually I remember Bharatvarsh, right? King Parikshit was ruling Bharatvarsh, and in Vedic Kal, Bharatvarsh is not the geographic boundary we are having now. So last time you asked a question to Niren Prabhu. We are proud of our culture. We are proud of our country. You know, Bharatvarsha, the whole planet was called Bharatvarsha at that time. The boundaries are defined now. Then what culture you will not be proud of? When the whole world is Bharatvarsha, Vedic, when we say Akhand Bharat does not only mean in our Sangh way that only uh, Bangladesh and some Myanmar and this. Akhand Bharat, actually, when you go to Vedikal, the whole Bharatvarsh, the whole planet is Bharatvarsh. Like King Parikshit was ruling all over the world. So This person was killing cow. He said, "How dare you to come in my kingdom and kill the cow? I'm going to kill you right now." He started for ask for forgiveness. Who was that person? Anyone knows? He is the Kali Yuga. So he started forgiving. No, I am taking your surrender. I'm into your surrender. Please forgive me and leave me. So he said that I am leaving you because you came to my shelter, but you cannot stay in my kingdom. But then he says that if I cannot stay in your kingdom, where will I go? Everywhere is your kingdom. The whole Bharatvarsha, the whole world is your Bharatvarsha. Where will I go? So Aryan did not come from outside because the world itself was a Bharatvarsha. The Bharatvarsha, Aryan was always here. Right? So he says that where will I go? And in the picture, what you see? The left side of the picture. He tells that okay, you can live at these four places where the cow animals are sacrificed, right? For your sense gratification or meat eating in a way, right? Um, where the gambling happens, where the alcohol consumption happens, where the illicit relationships are being made. These kind of four places is the only places where you can live in this material world or in this Bharatvarsha. There is no other places where you can live. Can someone relate to this? What are these four things we just discussed? Four regulative principles. Four regulative principles. ISKCON says that follow the four. These four things are prohibited. If you want to do bhakti, these four things you must not do. Illicit sex, hey, alcohol, intoxication, right? Gambling, and the fourth one is uh, meat eating. These are the four regulative principles where we have to regulate. From where it came, it did not come out of the blues from somewhere. This came from this story. Because Kali Yuga, the effect of Kali, he is the Kali personified who is getting, who is on his knees. The effect of Kali will be on those kind of people who are actually involved in these four activities. That's where the four regulative principle came from. This is the source of the four regulative principles. That's why it is so much emphasized on you must not do these things, must not do. Right? Because if you are doing, you are directly inviting Kali. Come, I am yours. Rather than saying to God that I am yours, you are asking Kali, I am yours, come live with me. Right? These four things. So similarly, like there are many kings who were called Rajarsi, in whose kingdom their people were so happy. The king's duty is to keep their citizens happy. King Yudhishthir, everyone was so happy that um, they are all free from all anxiety. They were so happy, free from anxieties that even they were not even feeling the heat of the sun or cold from the weather. They were so much happy in their life. So the way the primary duty of the government, which our governments have forgotten, is not just to collect taxes, but to keep the citizens happy. But what we see, the new ways of collecting taxes. Right? That's where our politicians have forgotten. But that things aside, what is our duty? What can we learn from today's this session? These four regulative principles and chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Okay, so any questions?